Good afternoon, good people. I hope you are all gearing up for a wonderful weekend. It's a late Friday already, and many of you are already. I know that many of you are already out there enjoying yourselves. I hope you enjoy and have a blast during the weekend. I'm back now online with the aim of announcing, or rather going through an announcement that was made by the government of South Africa through some three reports that were published or statements that were published on the website pertaining to the critical skills visa. You know that there has been a number of questions asked on the critical skills, why certain skills are not included there, why certain skills are there. So I'll go through a statement. There are two statements, in fact, that were released. The first one is a Department of Home Affairs statement that was released. Then I'll go through a checklist for the critical skills visa, what you need to submit for you to apply for this critical skills visa. So the statement, which is dated the 2nd of February and is from the Department of Home Affairs, directed to the Department of International Affairs and of International Relations and Cooperation, to consular services. It is the Ministerial Immigration Directive number 1 of 2022, speaks to the implementation of the critical skills list. I'll read through it just shortly. I'll take just little of your time in going through it so that we do not leave out what the statement says. It says, in providing for the regulation of admission and departure of foreigners to and from the Republic, the Immigration Act number 13 of 2002 directs the Department of Home Affairs to contribute to an environment in which economic growth is promoted through the employment of needed foreign labor, facilitating foreign investment and enabling the entry of exceptionally skilled or qualified people. I, Dr. P.A. Mtswaledi, Minister of Home Affairs, hereby, with the powers bestowed on me in terms of Section 19, bracket 4 of the Immigration Act of 2002, which is Act number 13 of 2002, make the following transitional arrangements with regards to the new critical skills list. So the transitional arrangements are that any critical skills work visa issued in terms of the current 2014 list for a determined period shall continue to be in force and effect in accordance with the terms and conditions under which it was issued, but may only be renewed in terms of the 2022 list, provided that the visa that were issued under the conditions set out in the 2014 list continues. But when you want to renew it now, you have to satisfy these following conditions. Number one, the applicant meets the prescribed requirements of the 2022 list. Number two, applications already submitted to Home Affairs prior to 31 January 2022 shall be processed in terms of the 2014 list, including any appeals as arising out of such applications. So if you have already made an application under the 2014 list and are awaiting an outcome, the new list doesn't affect you. And even if you are not granted the visa, when you appeal the refusal to grant you this visa, you will be subjected to the list that was published in 2014, not the new one. And number three, no new applications in terms of the 2014 list shall be accepted with effect from 1 February 2022, except for those applicants who had already secured an appointment at the Visa Application Center or South African High Commission prior to 1 February 2022. Again, if you are making a new application, you then, after the 1st of February, you then have to satisfy the new list. But if you had already been granted an appointment prior to the publication of the new list, you are going to be subjected to the 2014 list. Number 4, the holder of a valid critical skills work visa issued in terms of the 2014 list may apply for permanent residence from the date upon which he or she qualifies to apply. So if you applied for a critical skills visa and you have been working for more than 5 years, or at least 5 years, you now qualify under the critical skills visa that you had last time, you qualify for permanent residence, you can still go ahead and apply. You're not affected again in your permanent residence permit application by the new list. Number 5, a critical skills visa is a work visa. The department will no longer issue a 12-month visa to applicants who have not secured or received an offer of employment. All applications in terms of the new 2022 list must be supported by a solid offer of employment. This one is self-explanatory. Then post-qualification experience. Applicants who submit applications that reference post-qualification experience as contemplated in regulations 24(4)(b) should submit additional proof of vetted working experience verified by reputable institutions such as the MIE. MIE is a trusted partner in South Africa and conducts background checks for international organizations and professional bodies. Then withdrawals. Withdrawals of ministerial waiver 2005, exemption from the requirements of the Immigration Amendment Act 2002, Act number 13 of 2002, and new immigration regulations to expedite the issuance of work permits to newly recruited foreign health professionals. Withdrawal of Immigration Directive number 22 of 2014, confirmation of the skills or qualifications of the application of the applicant as part of supporting documents for a critical skills visa. Then the third withdrawal is that of Ministerial Waiver 2016, which granted permanent residence status in terms of Section 27(b) of the Immigration Act of 2002, which was Act number 13 of 2002, graduates from South African tertiary institutions in the area of critical skills. So these 3 have been withdrawn by the new list. Thank you very much. Then I'll go to a revised checklist for application for critical skills work visa. So these are documents that you require when you are applying. You need a duly completed online form. Handwritten forms will not be accepted by Department of Home Affairs. You need a passport valid for not less than 30 calendar days after expiry of the intended visit. You need a medical report, a radiological report. You need a marriage certificate, or in the case of a foreign spousal relationship, proof of official recognition thereof issued by the authorities of the foreign country of the applicant, where applicable. The affidavit where a spousal relationship to a South African citizen or resident is applicable, as well as documentation providing cohabitation and the extent to which the related financial responsibilities are shared by the parties, and setting out the particulars of children in the spousal relationship. You also need proof of a union recognized in terms of the Recognition of Customary Marriages Act of 1998, which was Act number 120 of 1998, where applicable. You need a divorce decree where applicable. You need proof of court order awarding custody where applicable. You need a death certificate if in respect of late spouse where applicable. You need written consent from both parents and or sole custody parent where applicable, with proof of sole custody. You need proof of legal adoption where applicable. You need proof of legal separation order where applicable. A police clearance certificate issued by the police or security authority in each country where the relevant applicant resided for 12 months or longer after attaining the age of 18 years in respect of criminal records or the character of that applicant, which certificate shall not be older than 6 months at the time of its submission, provided that the certificate shall not be required from a foreign country in the case of renewal or extension of a visa, but from the Republic, which is South Africa. A yellow fever vaccination certificate if that person traveled or intends traveling from or transiting through a yellow fever endemic area, provided that the certificate shall not be required where that person traveled or intends traveling in direct transit through such area. A written undertaking by the employer accepting responsibility for the costs related to the deportation of the applicant and his or her dependent family members, should it be necessary. A written undertaking by the employer to ensure that the passport of his or her employee is valid at all times for the duration of his or her employment. You also need proof that the applicant falls within the critical skills category by specifically indicating the occupation critical skill for which the applicant is being met. The occupation or critical skills must be on the critical skills list. You also need proof of evaluation of the foreign qualification by SACA and translated by a SON translator into one of the official languages of the Republic. If required by law, you need proof of application for a certificate of registration with the professional body, council, or board recognized by SACA in terms of Section 13(1)(I) of the National Qualifications Framework Act. You also need a confirmation in writing from the professional body, council, or board recognized by SACA in terms of Section 13(1)(0) of the National Qualifications Framework, or any relevant government department confirming the skills or qualifications of the applicant and appropriate post-qualification experience. You need proof of payment of the application fee. There are three notes that are also made. A critical skills work visa is not a work seeker's visa. All applications must be accompanied by an offer of employment from employers who are verifiable and are in good standing with the Department of Employment and Labor. B, for all corporate general manager, CGM, and director occupations, check the additional requirements in Table 10 of the Critical Skills Technical Report available on Department of Home Affairs website. A university, that is number 3, university lecturers must specify the classification of education subject matter as per Annexure 2 of the Critical Skills Technical Report available on the Home Affairs Department website. So for you to get, you can get these documents from the Department of Home Affairs under notices. Then you will get critical skills list, checklist, and immigration directive number 1 of 2002. So these are the 3 documents that you can download from there. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it so that you help others. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. My name is Mxolisi Ncube. I'll be back with you again in the next broadcast. I hope you will enjoy your weekend.